This is your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Wednesday, August the 15th. A warm welcome to you. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Topping the news at this hour, outspoken opposition Senator Caswell Franklin today waded into the government's plan to restructure the public service as part of measures to revive the ailing Barbados economy. Franklin, who is also the General Secretary of the Unity Workers Union, suggested that the Mayor Motley administration first had to start with itself. Speaking during debate on the Public Service General Order 2018 resolution, he complained that the current government was too large and was a drain on the Treasury.
I understand why the cabinet decided to do, you know. And until such time as you pass legislation to stop you from crossing the floor, you're going to be frightened to put people in backbench because you don't want a backbench rebellion. So, you might get you put everybody in backbench and make them cabinet ministers, but that costs money. So if you send home people, send home the people or take them out of the government payroll that are not necessary.
On Tuesday, Prime Minister Mayor Motley confirmed that there will be job losses, but assured that they will not exceed 4,000 workers. She also insisted that the cuts will not be callous and disclosed the government has programs in place to assist those who will be displaced. Franklin, however, maintained that those who will be sent home should not be workers at the bottom of the salary scale.
A permanent secretary makes 6 times the salary of a person at the bottom of the salary scale. If you work, you see it is 6.38 or something, but it's 6 times the amount of money that a fellow at Z38 makes. Right now, we've got more permanent secretaries and more ministers than we need. So I start at that level. Take out some of these ministers, because some of them got jobs but no work. And if the minister got jobs but no work, his permanent secretary, his deputy permanent secretary, and his admin officers and his finance officers got the same thing, jobs but no work.
Meanwhile, there's concern that government's 5% wage hike could put the already cash-strapped Queen Elizabeth Hospital under even more financial pressure. Independent Senator Dr. Christopher Maynard warned that there are no provisions in the hospital's budget for the pay hike, which takes effect this month. He warned it could spell disaster for the QEH, especially with the pending introduction of the health service contribution, which takes effect October the 1st.
At the end of financial, the whole 12 months, the QEH will pay out an additional $5.6 million from a short budget. And it will cause pain. It will mean that the suppliers who are already stressed because they're not being paid will have further problems.
In other news this Wednesday, local health authorities are expressing concern about the high rates of syphilis among pregnant women. Senior Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Anton Best, who holds the responsibility for the HIV-STI program, has revealed that while the national outbreak, which was previously reported, was mainly seen in men, the ministry was now seeing an abnormally high rate of syphilis in pregnant women and a resulting increase in the number of babies born at risk for congenital syphilis. Statistics show a rise from the average 1 or 2 cases a year of syphilis in pregnant women to 17 in 2016. Best noted that preliminary data for 2017 was also showing a similar high rate. He stressed that the ministry's guidelines stipulate that all pregnant women should be offered a screening test for syphilis at booking and at 28 weeks gestation, as he underscored the need for testing. The medical practitioner stated that congenital syphilis was a potentially severe, disabling, and often life-threatening infection seen in infants. He explained that the syphilis bacterium was transmitted from mother to child during pregnancy and or delivery, and this could cause severe illness in babies, including premature birth, low birth weight, birth defects, blindness, and hearing loss. It could also lead to stillbirth and infant death. The government is throwing its full support behind the introduction of a breastfeeding workplace policy. Labour Minister Colin Jordan told stakeholders attending a childhood obesity prevention forum this morning that businesses should implement their own policy without legislation. Against the backdrop of rising incidents of childhood obesity in Barbados, Jordan said breastfeeding is at the center of combating the problem, and mothers should be encouraged by their families, wider society, and their workplaces to engage in the practice.
And so we're asking employers to provide breaks, safe spaces outside of bathroom facilities so that lactating mothers are able to pump or express their milk. Additionally, to provide sanitized and safe storage facilities for that milk so that it can be used by the mother in feeding the baby at a later time. All of this can be detailed in a breastfeeding workplace policy that enhances work environments and increases productivity. Because when we have happy employees, then we have more productive employees.
In sports, Barbados and the West Indies opening batsman Kraigg Brathwaite has signed up with Nottinghamshire for the remaining 5 matches of the 2018 County Championship. Brathwaite will be available for Nottinghamshire's immediate next fixture, set this Sunday against Hampshire. The county side then plays Surrey at the Key Oval before 3 home games against Yorkshire, Essex and Somerset at Trent Bridge. The 25-year-old batsman says he's excited about the opportunity and hopes he can help his side win the championship title. Nottinghamshire Director of Cricket, Mick Newell, says Brathwaite, who has played 49 tests, scoring 3,263 runs at an average of 37.94, adds quality and depth to Nottinghamshire.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. The murder rate in St. Lucia is down and the island's top cop is determined to keep it that way. After recording 60 homicides last year, Police Commissioner Severin Monchery said his men are sparing no effort to curb crime.
Commissioner of Police Severin Monchery anticipates a substantially lower homicide count by year's end. St. Lucia racked up an unenviably historic 60 homicides in 2017. 33 of those homicides were recorded by the middle of August. The official homicide tally as of August 14th stands at 18, or just over 50% less than the same period last year. Commissioner Monchery has attributed the decreased homicide rate to what he referred to as new strategies being executed by the police force.
The new strategies that we have put in place, the new plans that we are working on, that is what is keeping it down. And we're hoping that we'll continue to keep it down. And my aim is to keep it down under 25 for this year.
Commissioner Monchery expects the success of these new strategies to result in a higher detection rate, which he believes can contain the homicide rate.
Tragedy on the international scene today was supposed to be a day of celebration for many Italians, a public holiday marking the day when Catholics believe Mary ascended to heaven after her life on earth. But in Genoa, a port city in northwest Italy, where at least 39 people died after a highway bridge partially collapsed during a violent storm yesterday, there was little reason to celebrate. Rescue workers have been through the piles of concrete as the city began 2 days of mourning. More in this report from Al Jazeera Television.
There are about 300 emergency service workers and firefighters here, and they say that it's a rescue operation. They have been working right through the night, and they say that they will continue for as long as it takes. It is a really difficult and painstaking task, as you can imagine. I don't know if you can see behind me, but just balanced on the end of some of that bridge are lorries and vehicles that basically slammed to a stop when the bridge collapsed. The people inside those vehicles, of course, lucky to have survived, but beneath is just a pile of rubble and concrete, and that is what is making this rescue operation so difficult, because the emergency service workers are having to use large machinery to move some of the concrete, to use their hands, pickaxes, really pick through the rubble with sniffer dogs, trying to find any signs of life, because as the hours pass, of course, it will become more and more difficult for any survivors to be pulled out alive. Now, overnight, there were only bodies pulled out. And across this city this morning, you know, as you woke up, you really sensed that this is a city where people are in shock. They're still really trying to absorb what has happened.
And that's news and sports. But for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Now, you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic evening.